Clips here, and today I have 5 tips for you guys on how to farm 1 million gold per hour in Clash of Clans. So guys, I'm just going to get right into these tips. Hopefully I'll become a better farmer at the end by watching this. Most of these tips are basic, but just in case you forgot any, it will hopefully refresh your memory and hopefully get you back on track farming. So the first basic tip is to use Barch. For those of you who don't know what Barch is, but I'm assuming most of you do, it is when you use Barbarians and Archers only. So I'll train 2 barracks up with Barbarians and I'll train 2 barracks up with Archers. So most of the time you'll tend to have more Barbarians than Archers, but it really doesn't matter because the bases you'll be farming aren't generally the best. So basically what you do is you just swarm the bases with your Barbarians to tank, and then you deploy the Archers behind them to finish off the percentage. All these replays you are watching now are of Barch, some are from me, and I do have 1 replay from my clanmate. So the next tip I have for you guys is your trophy range. You want to be able to win your raids without relying on heroes and without relying on your spells. Because if you have to rely on heroes, rely on your spells, especially if you're a higher town hall, if you lose a raid, you don't get your bonus, the whole raid is basically just a bust. So if you're town hall 8, I'd recommend farming in silver 1 to like 1600. If you're town hall 9, 1500 to 2300. If you're town hall 10, you can farm anywhere from 1800 and above. So in your range, you want to be able to farm bases with saving troops left over. You don't want to use every troop, you don't want to use all your spells, you don't even want to have to use your heroes if you don't have to. Your range should just be a nice, easy, median location for you to obtain the loot. So the third tip I have for you guys is don't log off between raids. I know some people who do an attack, log off for an hour, come back, do an attack, log off for 2 hours, come back, do an attack. No, you guys have to do an attack. Once your army's done, do another attack. Once your army's done, do another attack. And you guys have to keep attacking every 20 minutes when your army's done if you guys want to be able to farm as much good as you can. So the fourth tip is you want to use a minimum amount of troops. If you guys can save troops, I would highly recommend you do it. Let's say there's a few collectors outside and you're not worrying about trophies. Just take those collectors with half an army, end the raid, and you'll have half an army when you're done. That's one of the most basic tips, and hopefully it helps you all. So moving on to the 5th tip, that is boosting your barracks. Now I know not everyone can boost their barracks because it costs gems and people want to save their gems, but if you guys have a little bit of gems to spend, that is highly beneficial. So personally, I'll just boost 4 of my barracks, and then I won't boost my heroes or my spell factory. Like I said earlier, if you have a farming range, you won't need your heroes to win. Sure, they'll help, but they aren't really needed to win the raids. So if you guys can't spend 40 gems per boost, you can always go back and spend 20 per boost. That is still really easy to farm. Now let's say you don't have any gems to spend for boosting, you can still farm 1 million gold, not necessarily easily, but you can still farm 1 million gold an hour. Rather simple. Just stick to the gold leagues if you guys are town halls 8 or 9. If you guys stick in gold league, you'll be able to farm for days. There's so much dead bases down there. You guys can just attack dead bases after dead bases after dead bases. And like I said, if you guys use a minimum amount of troops, if you guys queue your barracks, you guys will be able to raid so much. Even without boosting your barracks, you can easily farm near 1 million an hour, if not more. So guys, I boost my barracks, and if you guys can see in some of these replays, sometimes I don't necessarily find a lot. Since I'm a town hall 10, I usually attack for the loot bonus. So I'm not necessarily raiding from collectors, I'm mainly farming the loot bonus. So I don't always attack for the most loot, and if I boost my barracks, I can still easily farm 1 million an hour when I'm barely making any per raid. So you lower town halls out there have such an advantage. You guys can attack town hall 7s for 250k each and easily get it. So I really just want to stress, guys, that you have to be attacking whenever you can. If you guys can manage 10 attacks a day, that is good, but just try to do as much attacks as you can. Even if you're not, trying to farm necessarily 1 million an hour. Let's say you're just trying to farm, to upgrade your base better. You guys have to do as much attacks as you possibly can. I remember back in the day, I would set a minimum of 10 attacks a day for myself to do. And, if I didn't get that, the next day I would have to do more raids. But you guys have to, and I can't stress this enough, you have to attack as much as you can if you want to max your base out. Maxing your base will take time, but if you guys can boost, if you guys can just stick to it, I promise you guys it will come easy and it will come faster than you think it will. So guys, this has been Eclipse. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like below. Every like does help my channel grow. If you're not already, please subscribe, and I'm out.